This is Coogan Cassius for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined for the first time of 2026. Me and you personally. Gareth A.Davies, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very, very good. How are you? Happy New Year, my friend.
Well, it's the 13th of January. It's a bit late for
Oh, I
that,
haven't
isn't it?
seen you, have I? And it's still a Happy New Year. Let's not. Should we get into this then? You don't believe in saying Happy New Year to people, do you? Because you don't believe in a Happy New Year. What about shall we manifest for 2026 then? Are you okay, Coogan? Do you want intervention? Do you need a therapist right now? Or do you need a barber even?
You're a weird fuck, you are, Gareth. No, what I mean is, it's the 13th of January. Like, Happy New Year after the first couple of days. Why'd you say it?
Because I mean Happy New Year because I haven't seen you for a few weeks.
All right. Well, Happy New Year
Happy
to
New
you.
Year, Coogan. It's a very pleasant thing. Or hello, how are you, fucker?
I don't know what region or what accent or who you were going for then.
What region or what accent that is? It's
You live
fucking deep dark Essex, isn't it?
you live in Essex, Gareth. You're
Yeah, but I
just
don't live in deep dark. I live in posh Essex, don't
you're the
I?
posh twat from Essex, aren't you? You are, Gareth, aren't you?
I'm not from Essex, but I live there. Correct.
How are you? All good? Where are
Yeah,
you?
I am. It's lovely to see you as always. Genuinely.
Where are you?
I'm still in Thailand. I've been here for Christmas and New Year. It's been an amazing stay. I extended for a week because I got wind of the weather. I had no show last week, and I hear it's dismal at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'd rather be where you are than where I am, so yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's 30 degrees here every day. There's 11 hours of sunlight. I'm enjoying the pool. I'm enjoying the sun. The food's amazing. You've been to Bangkok. You know what it's like. It's a vibrant place. It's a great place to be. But I am looking forward to getting back into it now, to get into the swing of the year. Even though just before we recorded this, really disappointed to know that the Moses Itauma Jermaine Franklin event, not just the fight, the event is off based on an injury that we don't know yet exactly what Moses has done. No doubt you'll be speaking to him later.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be speaking to Moses later. I actually spoke to Moses about a week ago, but obviously this injury has obviously recently happened, and it's a shame because I think everybody was looking at that kind of fight night as a whole as
Yeah.
kind of the best card in the UK in January. So we wish Moses a speedy recovery, and I think the card's been put back to the 28th of March, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
It is what it is. We've seen this kind of thing happen before with shows. Can't be helped, and they sold a load of tickets for it. Like Frank and Queensbury be absolutely gutted.
Yeah.
They want Moses obviously to recover as quick as possible, but in terms of commercially, they've done a ridiculous amount of tickets for this in a very short space of time. So they'll be
Yeah,
gutted
and
as
but
well.
also on this card, Nathan Heaney's a big ticket seller. I mean, Moses is step up and step out against Jermaine Franklin, who obviously had gone the distance with Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. There's only two losses on points. Good test for him. I still think Moses will end up stopping him. I hope it's still going to be him. Ezra Taylor and Willie Hutchinson, I was really looking forward to as well.
Mm.
Really looking forward to that fight. A lot of fire under that, and a kind of you know crossing sliding doors for those two in this fight. Ezra believing he can hurt Willie Hutchinson. Willie Hutchinson proving that he had what it took against Craig Richards, but he didn't quite have it against Joshua Buatsi. Um, I just hope they keep the whole card intact.
Mm. Yeah, I
And
do. I
then,
hope the same card, which was meant to go on
yeah,
um, next week, yeah, stays that for March. Um, right, we'll come on to Tauma again in a bit. Let's start with your favourite, Tyson Fury.
yeah,
It's
just
happening,
down
isn't
the
it?
road.
Have you seen him?
No, I haven't. I did reach out to Spencer and Wardy and James Ward and Spencer Brown, but he doesn't want media in the camp at the moment. He's out here with the family. He's training brilliantly, of course, with young Prince, who looks like he's really starting to shape up. See the left hooks into the bag for a minute. He looked fantastic, very made up that his father was proud of him. It's good to see Tyson Fury get the bit between his teeth. I mean, to run over it all, I've got to run soon anyway. We're both running a bit late. Very excited by the fact that it could be Arslanbek Makhmudov. Spencer Brown's now reached out, I think spoke to you at the weekend and said it could be Arslanbek Makhmudov. I like the fact that Fabio Wardley and Tyson are calling each other out. I get why Tyson would do that. I get why Fabio would go for that fight. He's got a chance in that fight. I still think Fury picks him apart. WBO title on the line. If that's a summer fight, that could go anywhere. That fight. I like the fact that Fury got a belt again. He could chase Usyk for a third fight. I can see that in his mind. I can see the machinations of the promotional nous involved in that. It's good to see him back. It's good to see John involved and talking about it, and he's going to check Tyson out. Are those legs old at 38? So it's all in the works. It's good. It's good for the division. It's good for the division to have him back.
Yeah, we knew this was pending. Obviously, we spent the whole of 2025 pondering whether he was going to come back, will he come back? But I think deep down, we always knew that he's had his time off, and now we are going to see a return. Spencer Brown said to me the other day that he expects or he'd want to see Tyson fight 3 times this year.
Yeah, well, I hope he does. I mean, that's a big ask, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he could fight 3 times. At the very best, he could fight 3 times. But if he's not out till April, he won't fight twice this year. He won't fight 3 times. He'll fight twice this year. And one of those could well be a world title.
But you mentioned Fabio Wardley there, and obviously, I think a few days ago, Fabio's made comments responding to Tyson Fury's comments. I mean, I said to Fabio Wardley, I said, like, you've barely had the title, and you've obviously had it for it being vacated by Oleksandr Usyk. So, don't you want a bit of time to breathe? And he said, what's the point in breathing? And I was like, all right, I get it.
But also, look, he's been written off so many times. Written off. Some people thought he wouldn't beat David Adelaide. Look what he produced in that performance. Look what he produced against Fraser Clark in the first fight, let alone the second one. He gave everything for 12 rounds. He completely destroyed Fraser in that second fight in Riyadh. Did an amazing job on Justice Hooney and proved he's got the equaliser yet again against Joseph Parker in the 11th round of that amazing fight just a few months ago. So what was it, 2 months ago? Was it November? So it's he's had an incredible rise. Why would he fear anyone? He doesn't
I
need.
agree. Yeah.
He doesn't need to fear any man out there, let alone Fury or Usyk. And maybe they're the only two, and maybe I think Moses might beat him. I think Fury might beat him. I think Usyk might beat him. But there's no guarantee.
No. There isn't no guarantee. And I think Fabio has kind of proved anyone backing against him for quite some time now that do you really want to back against Fabio Wardley in any of these fights?
Look at the timeline Joseph Parker was on.
Yeah.
You know? Look at his timeline. Look what he was doing in that fight. So Fabio is a breath of fresh air. He's a joy to be around. Even though I've kind of said he might not be a world champion by the end of 2026. But I could well be wrong there.
Well, we shall wait and see. We expect, I think, from what we're hearing, we're not going to see probably Fabio even fight until March, April. Fury the same. We're kind of halfway through January now. So, yeah, there's a lot. But also, we've got to mention somebody who's in the order, some sort of pecking order for a shot. Should be at the top of it. Kabayel. Kabayel had a great win in Germany. um, in Dusseldorf over the weekend in an amazing atmosphere, uh, founded crowd. So he's in there, isn't he? He's the one, isn't he, that you're wondering, how far can Kabayel go? How good is Kabayel? We didn't see too much. We saw him have a little moment in the first round against Kanaiba, and then obviously finished the job in the third round. But Kabayel is 100% up there, isn't he?
Look, I think what was really impressive about the event was how popular he is, how he's a star over there, how they sold out that 13,000 arena really easily, how we haven't had big boxing in Germany for a while. So it's an amazing moment for him to be recognised in Germany. So it's look, you've got to. He looked ring rusty in that first round, and as you say, Damien looked aggressive early on. He's a big man. He went for it. So I think Agit found himself after this into the second round. Did a number on him. I thought it was a good stoppage, unlike the fight before, which was a terrible stoppage, one of the worst stoppages or non-stoppage I've seen in a long time. You know what I'm referring to, don't you? The fight between, I've got it here. Well, I had it here. The fight between Grant Schaller and Peter Milas.
Yeah.
Like, Schaller should have been stopped well before the end. There was absolutely outrageous refereeing by Timo Habighorst. They really need an inquiry into it, Coogan. It was just awful, so dangerous that he let the guy go on. He was so out of it, it was awful.
Yeah. Yeah, I spoke to Milas actually after the fight, and yeah, it should never really let that kind of get to that situation.
But Agit rightly called out Usyk afterwards.
Yeah.
Is waiting for a world title shot, but it might be a Coley, it might be Dubois, it might be a match with Fabio Wardley, it could be a fight with Filip Hrgovic. There's so many options there for him, but the great thing is they've created a platform and a presence and a fulcrum for him to go on and fight in Germany, which is really good right now. They should build that crowd for him in Germany and maybe double the arena next time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that was kind of the first high-profile fight in quite a long time in Germany. And I think that Kabayel's got something. He's got support. He's a heavyweight. He ticks kind of all them boxes, isn't he, to do
Yep.
something prominent in Germany. So we'll see. Um, right, I do want to talk about Anthony Joshua. I know Eddie Hearn's recently made some kind of comments and I kind of not feel sorry for Eddie Hearn in that respect, but he undoubtedly is being asked questions about Joshua's future when that part of Joshua's life is very relevant right now, and people really shouldn't be asking Eddie Hearn or Joshua about his career. I think we both agree with that right now. That question should not be being asked to Hearn or whoever, correct?
Correct. We need ultimate empathy for Anthony Joshua at the moment. He'll be dealing with the loss of his friends, the guilt that he'll be feeling. I imagine there's some guilt as well. All those feelings that he will have based around losing tragically and horrifically two very close friends who were part of his team as well. So, you know, we all go through life and we lose people and we have tragedies around us, but for it to happen in such a moment of horror, and people that were very close with him around his boxing world, having just had the high of coming back from Miami. I mean, I remember speaking to them out there. Terrible. So to try and get a decision out of Anthony Joshua is just not right at the moment. He will make the decision when he is ready. what's happened is bigger than boxing. It's irrelevant to boxing right now. You know, he needs to deal with his feelings and what he's gone through, the shock, the as I say, and we all need to feel empathy towards that, and it's the right way to treat it. Obviously, these things happen in life, but we need to be kind of conscious of the fact that his privacy needs respecting. He's going through a process where he's being incredibly supportive to their families. He's setting up foundations, and you know, people. It's still very raw, and I thought Eddie spoke cogently about it and in the right way about it, and I completely agree with him. And I'm glad we're in agreement about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think you know, there was always going to come a point after what happened in Nigeria where, yeah, people were going to ask questions, but I think, you know, like you said, boxing is so relevant in this.
Yeah,
Like,
of course, of
this is
course.
something that probably AJ will never get over. You know, if we're having it right, kind of the circumstances around it, he'll probably never
Well, we
get over.
don't know that. That's what I mean. Like we
Not
can say
fully,
whatever
you
we
know, he'll
want, but
never
it's
fully
only
get over it.
conjecture. We don't know what he's going through.
No, we
We
don't.
just don't, you know.
We don't know. But
And he's a gentleman, remember, he's a classy man. And I found that in Miami when I was with him, so classy as an individual. And everything he's done since this tragic incident has been very classy as well,
yeah,
proper, you know.
yeah. But yeah, we listen. We send our wishes and condolences to everyone kind of involved
Yeah, absolutely.
in in that horrific situation. Um, yeah. Um, so what's your plan, Gareth, now for the rest of the month? What shows you at? What you're not at?
Well, I am back tomorrow. I am at Talksport on Saturday night. We'll be looking forward to, or we would have been looking forward to Moses Itauma. We'll be discussing pulling the bones out of all of that, looking at the heavyweight division, looking at Tyson Fury's comeback. I'm going to try and still going to try and get him over the next few days. Then it's next weekend is a quiet weekend now without Moses on, but then it's looking forward to Tio Lopez, Shaka Stevenson, which is an amazing fight on the 31st. Looking forward to Adam Azim against Lemos, which again will put into perspective once he's fought where we are with him and Dalton Smith after his massive
Yeah,
victory,
we'll come on to that
great
in a second.
victory
Yeah, go on.
on Saturday night in the Barclays Centre in Brooklyn against the Puerto Rican Subriel Matias. And, you know, then we got Nick Ball coming up. I've got BKB 50 in Miami on the 31st of January, 4 world title shots. A guy called Dan Gittings from Essex is going to, do you know Dan at all?
I know who
Ben,
he is. I don't know him personally, but I know
yeah,
he is.
he's fighting for a world title. I shall be covering that for them. I'll be out in Miami. It's a really, really busy start to the year. Josh Kelly in a world title fight. February Warrington and Wood in a real grudge fight. Then we're into Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. And are we going to get Conor Benn against him? What a start to the year! What a start!
Right, I do want to. Obviously, it was going to be my next not question, but kind of a reflection really on a stunning win for Sheffield's Dalton Smith. Eddie Hearn, I think, described it as kind of the best away win, if you like. Went there, done the job emphatically, and yeah, I mean, Britain has a new world champion in Dalton Smith, and
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's a bit revisionist there on history because it was Cal Brook before, wasn't it? And you know, it was Darren Barker against Geel, and so and obviously the moments he's had with Tony Bellew and Carl, obviously they were in the UK actually, but the moments he's had with Tony Bellew and Makabu, with Carl Froch in the UK, but abroad. This ranks with John H. Stracey, it ranks with Lloyd Honeyghan beating Donald Curry, it ranks with Tyson Fury beating Vladimir Klitschko abroad, Cal Brook with Sean Porter, the late, great Ken Buchanan in his victories abroad. It's big for Eddie. It's massive for Dalton Smith. It's his chance to try and become elite class, not just world class. He proved everything we thought about him. I thought he'd win, but in a very tight decision. But well done fighting fire with his two heavy hands. And they gambled right, or they strategized right against Matthias, because he does come like a zombie. He's easy to hit, and they beat him in a firefight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe the fight week got the coverage it deserved. Obviously, Matchroom lost the purse bids on that fight, uh, which meant obviously the zone weren't involved on Saturday night for that. It didn't go under the radar, but we know obviously there
No,
was
no, it did. It did in a sense. It did.
£41 pay-per-view. Those kind of all them things.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
Yeah, that didn't. But also, listen, everything happens for a reason, and ultimately, it doesn't matter who promoted it and who the broadcast was, how much a pay-per-view
No,
was.
but this is
It
where
all-
Sky could have picked it up for a fee,
Yeah,
and it would have been watched by people, or DAZN should have gone out on a limb perhaps to do it, or there should have been that 41 quid. I think it was in the UK, 41.99 or
yeah.
95. It was too much. It wasn't that kind of pay-per-view. So, and even though it was by ppv.com, but that was a shame. And it did kind of go under the radar as a result. It did. There's no question about it. But he can make up for this. Eddie can
Absolutely.
make up for this. They can create a name out of Dalton. It was nice to see Grant Smith, his father, excited and have his moment. So it was really good, Coogan. It was a great thing to see. I'm so pleased for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody echoes those thoughts about just a great win, and there's nothing better than doing it away from home, is there? On
Yeah,
on foreign soil, there isn't. We've seen that, like you mentioned, them fights there. I was there at Kell Brook and Sean Porter. You mentioned Daniel Gill and
yeah,
Darren Parker, Klitschko
yeah,
Fury. I mean,
yeah,
there's something about winning away, isn't there? They're
yeah.
just, you know. Um, all right. Well, listen. Well, obviously you mentioned Barrios and Garcia. Then expect the winner to fight Conor Ben.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I think he's got a better chance against Garcia than he probably has against Barrios, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it is a massive fight if that happens. So more to the power. I'm going to have to run, my
No,
friend,
you crack on. We'll
as
catch
the
up.
darkness begins to descend here and I lose light.
I can see. Yeah. Quick last one. Usyk Wilder. Expect that to happen.
I think they're working out the finances on it at the moment, Coogan, and I think that someone's going to have to leverage something for that to happen, because when we believe the sums that Usyk's been paid for his last couple of fights, last two or three,
Yeah.
it's going to take something to do it, and you just wonder if it's going to happen in America. Can they do the ticket sales? Who's the broadcaster? All those things. So maybe Amazon picks it up. So we shall see.
We shall see. Gareth A.Davies, much appreciate your time, and we'll catch up with you again very soon.
I'll see you in person in a couple of days, my friend. Thank you very much.